Hey guys, PhotoshopProHelp here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to easily change your hair colour in Photoshop. Now this is really easy, and there's two ways of actually doing this. Now these are the two best ways out there so far, and they're really quick. So as we can see with this image, this is with the technique clicked on, and as you can see it's really vibrant in colour. You can have any colour that you want, and it works with light colour hair and dark colour hair, so it doesn't matter what shade of hair colour that you have right now. So I'm just going to go and show you the original now. So this is the original, and as I said, you can have any colour that you want. And we're going to go and show you a few other images with this worked on, so let's go and check this out. So the hair colour, obviously it's too bright for this image, but you can change it. You can have any colour you want, so I'm going to click that off. So she has dark colour hair, and it works just as well with light colour. So we're just going to go in through these. So this is a quite nice image, so hair colour change, and we're just going to go and change this one. And as you can see, it works with a lot of images, so you can really play around with this and have a lot of fun. So I'm going to work with the original now, so go and put yours into Photoshop that we're going to be working with. And the first technique calls for a selection process, so we need to use the quick selection tool. Now you can obviously use the quick mask tool, the pen tool, or any other method of selection that you've learned. So we're just going to use the quick selection tool for this because I want to be quite quick, and we want to make sure that we have the plus tool on the top, and just go over her hair. You can be quite rough with this because we're going to sort that out later. So just as long as you have the vast majority of the hair selected, it may jump in a minute to something that we don't actually want selected, but we can sort that out. So as you can see, it's jumped. We're just going to go up to the minus tool at the top left hand side, and we're just going to go and take out the bits that we don't actually need. So just her face, something like that, and then go back to the plus tool. Can take a little while to get the right selection, so just making sure that we have the biggest bit covered like that. And once we have got a good selection of her hair, all we're going to do is go up to the top and click refine edge, and you'll have something like this. All we're going to do is play around with the smart radius, so click smart radius and bring the radius up. Now depending on the size of your image, you have to play around with this. I'm going to go for around about 33 to 20 something pixels for this. So it's just bringing in the hair that we lost, but we're also going to sort that out in a minute. So something around about there. Now if you go onto the image, you'll see this plus icon with the brush, so we're just going to go and bring over the hair just around the edges, and that brings the hair that we lost through, and the stuff that we don't need, and it's taking the stuff that we don't need out of the image. So just bring that through just a little bit like that, and over here. So obviously you're going to have a lot more time than you can spend on this. So once you have got a good selection and you have done all this, we're going to go down to output 2 and go to new layer with layer mask, and then click OK. Now you'll get something like this, and the bottom layer is hidden, so we want to bring that back. So click the little icon on the right hand side, and that brings her face back through. Now once we have this, we're going to hold down Control or Command on your Mac if you have one, and click the masking layer, and that makes a selection of her hair again. Now we're going to go and add an adjustment layer, so bottom right hand side little circle that's black and white, click that, and then go to Selective Color. Now once you have this, all we're going to do is go to Colors drop down menu and go to Neutrals. That's all we're going to play around with. Now you want to have a bit of colour theory with this, so depending on what kind of colour that you're after, so we're going to go for like a pink with this, so we're going to bring down the cyans and bring up the magentas, and as you can see it's changing the colour perfectly, and we're just going to play around a bit more with that, and that's the colour that we're going to be after, so something around about there will be fine for us. And we're going to go to blacks. Now you don't want to play too much around with the blacks, just a little bit because it can distort it and make it go off colour. So around about there. Obviously you can play around with this, and you can have any colour you want by playing around with the neutrals. So if I go and show you, purples, oranges, any colour that you want, just as long as you play around with it. So I'm just going to go and hide that now, and that's basically the first step done. That's all you need to do, and you can obviously play around and with the masking layer. So if you have gone over the face, go to your brush tool and use black as your foreground colour, and make sure you're working on the masking layer, and you can just bring up the brush size and you can just paint in the bits that we don't need, as you can see. So we don't need that coloured pink, so we can take that out. And if you do need certain bits coloured pink, we can change back to white as a foreground colour and just paint those in like that. Obviously this is very rough at the moment, but you get the understanding, and with a lot more time on your hands you can get a better selection process than me, and you can play around with all the different colours. Now the next process is fairly simple, but it's not as good as this process. So I'm going to go back to the original. So this is the original right here. So the next step is making a new blank layer. So bottom right hand side, click the new blank layer icon, and we're going to go to our colours palette on the left hand side, and we're going to go and click a colour that we want. So I'm going to go for a pink again, click OK, and obviously you can go for any colour. We're going to go to our paintbrush tool, and all we're going to do is we're going to go and change the blending option of this new layer to soft light. So go find soft light, and then all you have to do is paint in the colour that we want. So this process would be good if you want to add highlights into the hair, because that can easily be done with this. So you can use a soft brush or a hard brush. I'd say soft brush for the edges, and you can really just play around with this and colour certain areas. So that's pretty much the effect. Once you have coloured most of the hair in with this colour, you can go and change the colour to whatever you want by pressing Ctrl or U or Command and U on your Mac, and then pressing colorize, and then going changing the colour to any colour that you wish. So it's that simple, it's really easy. So with the second process you can add highlights into hair, which I'd highly recommend using that. If you want to colour the whole hair, I'd use the first process. So go and have some fun. That's pretty much it. Please comment, rate and subscribe. Go check out the website guys. Facebook and Google Plus is there for you, so lots to check out. And there is some new shirts on their way, so there may be a link after this video, so go check out the new t-shirts from PhotoshopProHelp, and I'll see you in the next tutorial guys. Bye for now.